Hi guys, hi, it's Louise. I'm just here because I was supposed to do a talk at church this week on Galatians, continuing our series. So I'm going to do it here for you now. So the passage I had is Galatians chapter 5, verses 13 to 14, which says, "You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather serve one another humbly in love. For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command, love your neighbour as yourself." So I had this talk planned for a while, and then coronavirus came and totally changed what I was going to say. And the passage suddenly became very practical, that line, love your neighbour as yourself. And it's strange talking about freedom when at the moment we're experiencing a time in our lives where we're probably have got more restrictions than we've ever had before, more restrictions and limitations on what we can do and where we can go. But as Christians, our lives are about freedom. Freedom is at the very heart of the Bible and of living with God. It's not a side benefit or a supplement to the Christian life. It's an essential part of being a Christian because God called all believers to freedom. So what are we free from? We're free from fear because we're free from the power and the guilt of sin because we've experienced God's forgiveness. We're free from the penalty of sin because Christ paid that penalty on the cross when he died for us. But God doesn't give us freedom so we can do what we want. He's not saying we're free to live as selfishly as we please, doing whatever satisfies our material wants and needs. Rather, we're freed for a purpose so that we can, for the first time, do what God wants us to do. We are free to choose to put God first, and we're free to choose to love and serve each other, because when we serve each other and serve the church, we're serving God. So at the moment, while we're restricted, how do we love and serve God? Well, if we take a look at Paul and Silas when they were in prison, did they give up serving God? No, they made a choice to worship. Acts 16:25 says they were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to them. So now is the time to serve God through seeking him in prayer and worship in our daily lives, through learning what it looks like to be the church outside of the physical building. This passage says we should love our neighbour as ourselves, and this is perhaps for some of us the first time we can practically do and show this. And I know that so many of you are doing this already, and so many non-believers are too. We can love our neighbour by choosing to stay inside. We can love our neighbour by checking in with them, calling them, making sure they've got everything they need. We can love our neighbour by sharing what we have, even if it's that much sought-after supermarket delivery slot. We can love our neighbour by donating to the food bank. We could all reach out and help each other, teach each other, encourage each other, and lift each other up. We can love our neighbour by financially giving to the church and to the work that God is doing, to the work that will need to be done to support our neighbours and friends and family at the end of this. We have an opportunity now to love our neighbour by praying for them, praying for our church, praying for Youth for Christ, praying for the work of God to be done here in Devon and across the country. So we're in a unique time where the things that busy our lives and get in the way of God have been taken away. So let's use that time to focus our minds on what God wants for our church, focus on building our church, building the house of God in our own homes, families and communities, so that when this time of restriction is over, we emerge as stronger in our faith. We emerge as a more connected church. We emerge as a people who are visible in their application of faith, visible in our kindness and in our serving of the community. So how will you use your freedom this week? I just wanted to finish with this thought. When I'm free from being distracted, I'm free to focus on God. When I am free from being in control, I am free to see the miraculous and to see things from God's perspective. When I'm free from ambition, I'm free to serve with a joyful heart. When I am free from selfishness, I'm free from irritation. When I am free from fear, I'm free to experience God's peace. When I am free from judgment, I am free to pray from a pure heart. And when I am free from expectation, I am free to enjoy whatever God has for me next. Okay, we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.